guys, Taro here. Welcome back to UniONE, episode 17 for season 1. This time it's the USA Grand Prix. And I don't know how it's going to go actually. See, with the high speed nature through the S's and the long back straight. It's going to be difficult to try and get a top 10 finish, but same with Japan, we got a top 10 there, so just have to see what we can do really. And still hoping to try and beat Alonso in the constructors, which is going to be one of these point finishes for the rest of the season if there's any chance of trying to beat Alonso. So taking off to the airport now, gets to plane and off to Texas. Heading off now to Texas. Hopefully it's a good race. Now it's time to take you through the qualifying report. Taking a look at the qualifying grid for the US Grand Prix, will be Nico Rosberg taking pole at this crucial point of the season by over a second from Sebastian Vettel in second. Kimi Raikkonen's retirement was brought forward as he's been replaced by Sebastian Buemi, the ex-Toro Rosso driver, for the rest of the season, and he impressed on his debut for the Scuderia, managing third on the grid. Massa will start fourth, and once again Hamilton was struggling for pace over one lap, and he'll start in fifth and was 1.4 seconds slower than his teammate Nico Rosberg in qualifying. Ricciardo lines up in 6th, and Bottas once again to another disappointing qualifying session, and he'll start from 7th. Jenson Button lines up 8th in his McLaren, and the real surprise of the session was Max Chilton managing P9 on the grid, was over a second faster than his teammate Josh Tiro, who languishes down in 15th position. Hulkenberg completes the top 10, and once again Magnussen just misses out in 11th with Verne in 12th. A change in teammate hasn't done much to change Alonso's fortunes, as he could only manage P13 on the grid and was over 3.5 seconds off the pace. Can Rosberg hold on for the win, or will Hamilton find his pace and challenge for the top spot on the podium? Let's find out. It's time for the US Grand Prix. Taking a quick look at the strategies, doesn't seem to be any difference between starting on the options or the prime, so start on the options, want to be as fast as possible to start with the race, try and gain these positions, get towards the points and get ahead of Max Chilton. So coming towards 5 red lights now, and lights out, and away we go for yet another terrible start in this season. That's something we definitely need to work on for next season, definitely our starts, as we become the new Mark Webber of Formula 1 it seems. So diving back up the inside, Perez actually tries to close us out there, bit of a late move but managed to get around him. And looks like Verne and Alonso getting a bit tangled together, so we get past them now, up into 12th position, right behind a teammate Max Chilton. He completely embarrassed us in qualifying, so we're trying to embarrass him here in the race. We're going side by side through this section. Chilton actually just backs out completely, and he's already down to 13th, starting 9th, and we're up to 11th after starting 15th. Now coming through the S section, slowly gaining on the back of Hulkenberg in the other Force India in front. Almost reminiscent of Japan this, getting through the S section there, we all know what happened back at Japan. So now coming into the hairpin, run a bit wide, and now coming down the back straight, Hulkenberg is slowly pulling away from us out the corner with a better traction and the Mercedes power unit in the back of that Force India. Surprisingly actually pulling away from Alonso though, so he must have more of a low drag setup than Alonso's running. Looking a bit further forward, you got Hamilton looking to make a move on Buemi. Massa looks to make a move on Vettel just in front, and Bottas going side by side with Ricciardo, so that's 2nd to 7th going side by side trying to overtake each other. Can Bottas keep the nose and notices it gets squeezed out by Ricciardo, has to receive the position, and Buemi's kept ahead of Hamilton, and Vettel's kept ahead of Massa, so all these 7 have stayed in the exact same positions as what they're in. Now coming up to this corner, which almost reminds me of Turn A back at Turkey when they used to race there. I actually have to check up there. Hulkenberg once again trying to brake check us like he did back at Japan. And that's put Alonso right in the back of us now. Need a good exit around the final corner. Rosberg sets the first lap of the race of a 1:43. And we come across the line to set a 1:48, so we're already 5 seconds behind Rosberg. And now Hamilton going side by side with Buemi into turn 1, looking to take 4th position. Should be a bit of contact between the two, but Hamilton's got the position. Up into 4th place, now trying to challenge the top 3. And Hulkenberg's actually got away from us still, down that straight, they managed to gain on him. Now going through the S section, we're looking to gain through here, like we did back on lap 1. You just see gaining all the way through the S section, now right onto the back of his rear diffuser now. Still got to keep Alonso right behind us. That's something we've got to keep in mind if we do make a mistake. Alonso there to pound. So actually hit into the back of Hulkenberg there. He's going so slowly. So I think Force India definitely need to go for more of a downforce setup for next season, on next season's car. More of a straight line, because if a Marussia is able to gain on him through a downforce heavy section, there's something not quite right. You see the straight line speed of the Force India coming through there, just get straight back past us. As now the McLarens are going side by side further in front. It's like Button's actually starting on the medium compound tyres. So Magnus on the soft tyre looking around the outside. Button keeps the nose in. Still going to go side by side now. Magnus's a lot closer. Gets it level, but Button looking to hold it around the outside. And still they're going side by side. This is allowing me, Hulkenberg, Alonso and everyone else behind to catch up immensely. Now going around this long sweeping right-hander. Still they go side by side, and that's put Hulkenberg right on the back of them now, with us just behind. And Magnussen actually gets squeezed out by his teammate, Jenson Button, so clearly no team order being implemented so far. Now we're right on the back of Hulkenberg. And the two McLarens coming up to start lap 3. We get a actually pretty decent run out the final corner. Of course, no DRS yet, as the detection point was back on the previous lap. Now gaining into turn 1, putting back understanding, it actually make a very late move up the inside of Hulkenberg. Lucky not to make contact with the back of his car there. That's up now into 10th place, trying to gain now on the two McLarens who are battling up in front. Try to make the most of that situation. Once again, Button managed to going side by side through this section of corners on the end of lap 3, and Magnus actually gets forced out wide by his teammate Button, so that's up into 9th place now. Can we chase down Button whilst he's on the medium tyres? We're on the soft tyres. Obviously the grip's going to start falling away very quickly. Coming on to lap 4 now, but I think we should still have a bit left to try and challenge the McLaren. Now we've got DRS and we've got to worry about all the 3 cars right behind us now. We've got DRS on Button, closing quite a lot on braking into turn 1. Now coming through the S section, you try and keep close to Button here. As coming on to the end of lap 4, Rosberg comes in for a very early pit stop. So is Rosberg doing a 2-stop? What tyre is Rosberg going on to? Comes now into his pit box, and actually going on to the harder tyres, the medium tyres. So is Rosberg looking to go to the end? That's about 10 laps on a set of tyres. He'll be wary about puncture towards the end of the race, so I guess Rosberg trying to go to the end of the race on that set of tyres. Coming on to lap 5 with our fast lap of the Grand Prix. You can see that dot on the mini-map there, that's actually Rosberg, so Rosberg going to come out behind us. And the two McLarens. And Hulkenberg and Alonso as well. As now coming on to the end of lap 5, we're coming for our one and only pit stop onto the medium tyres. And so does one of the Ferraris in front, which is Buemi. Buemi's doing pretty decent in his return to Formula 1. Obviously back in the Toro Rossos in the 2010s, 2011. Now fighting up the front, hopefully in the Ferrari. Looking for a good result, as now we've got to worry about being undercut by one of the McLarens who must have actually stopped a lap earlier than us. We have to dive it up the inside coming out of the pit lane, so we've got one McLaren right behind us on the medium tyres as well. I'm not quite sure which one that is just yet. It's actually Jenson Button, so Button started on the medium tyres, pit a lap before us, and came back out on the medium compound tyres. Not quite sure what strategy McLaren are thinking there. Now Button's coming alongside us on the back straight into lap 6. Button actually gets us, outbraces us into the left hand here, but it runs wide. Locks up. We actually make, I don't think there's any contact there, but we get back up into what is currently in 19th position as everyone else is yet to stop. And I've got to worry about Button right behind us now. This third sector hasn't really been the best for us. That's where we've been losing most of our time around the lap. Now coming on to lap 7, some of the midfield cars making their stops, and Magnussen has actually got an overcut on us by stopping one lap later than we did to get back ahead of us. Now we've got to try and close him down, overtaking him as quickly as we can. Because I don't know if we're going to be in a points position at this moment in time. Actually, you see there, Kvyat getting spun by Sergio Perez coming out of the pits and then tags his teammate while trying to reverse off the track. Calamity's there for Toro Rosso. That's surely any chance of them scoring points now completely gone out the window. Now coming onto the back straight onto lap 8. Getting a double slipstream off the Lotus of Maldonado and then Magnussen in front. Engine back down his standard, actually going to dive it up the inside of Magnussen as well. I was only going for the Lotus there, but Magnussen going so slowly into the braking zone. We managed to get him as well. Good job he saw us there, otherwise that could have been a nasty impact. But thankfully it wasn't, saw us coming. That's up now into 9th place, but coming onto the next lap, Magnussen looks to make a move us down the straight. we should dive it back up the inside and then retake our 9th position. So Magnussen once again demoted back down to 10th, and now coming on to lap 11. Going to look to do the same move again. Yes, we are, but Magnussen brakes really out, hitting to the back of him there. Actually hitting to the back of Magnussen. Actually have to let him go there, obviously not to make an unfair illegal overtake. Have we got any damage? I have to let Magnussen go. We're now down in 10th position. Thankfully somehow got away without any damage. Yeah, Magnussen just braked so early. I was not expecting that at all. Now coming all the way into the end of lap 14 down the back straight, Magnussen just, after he got ahead of us, pulled away into the distance. And Hulkenberg's nowhere near us in 11th, so now Rosberg comes around the final corner, take his 9th win of the season and 3rd win in a row. Nico Rosberg wins the 2014 US Grand Prix. And for us it's going to be a rather lonely 10th position, but still more points and gets one step closer to Toro Rosso. Taking a look now at the race results, and Rosberg would indeed take his 9th win of the season, with his teammate Lewis Hamilton 4 seconds behind in 2nd. Massa rounded off the podium with Ricciardo in 4th, Bottas 5th and Vettel 6th, and they completed the Williams-Red Bull pattern. Wayme disappointing down in 7th after starting 3rd. Alonso recovered up to 8th after starting 13th. Magnussen just drove away 9th after he got past us, and we rounded off the top 10. Kvyat recovered to 12th place, and Verne was down in 16th. Button DNF due to a brake failure, which he saw the start of after he got past us and went straight on at the corner, and he retired shortly afterwards. Moving on now to the driver's standings, and Rosberg now has a 26-point lead over his teammate Lewis Hamilton on 305 points to Hamilton's 279. Bottas remains in 3rd on 173 points, with Vettel in 4th on 165. Massa now moves 12 points clear of Alonso in 5th, and Daniel Ricciardo now only 1 point behind the Spaniard in 7th. Raikkonen remains in 8th, but will no longer be competing in Formula 1, so can Hulkenberg catch the 18-point gap by the end of the season? Jenson Button rounds off the top 10 with 49 points, Perez remains in 11th on 36, and we're now only 2 points behind in 12th on 34 points. In the constructors' standings, Mercedes now have a lead of 251 points over Williams on 574 points to Williams' 323, and Williams are now 21 points clear of Red Bull, who are in 3rd, and Ferrari just falling ever further away in 4th. Force India remain 5th, McLaren now onto 84 points still in 6th, Toro Rosso now only 4 points clear of Marussia in 7th, and Sauber, Caterham and Lotus remain on 7 points, 1 point and then no points respectively. So 10th place in the race is a decent result I guess, but it's not good enough. Looking to beat Toro Rosso, there's enough races for me to keep finishing 10th and to beat Toro Rosso in the constructors, so I'd hope for something special would happen if we're to beat Toro Rosso in the constructors, but 10th place is good enough for now. Just need something better throughout the rest of the season. The Brazilian Grand Prix next time out. Personally, it's probably my second favourite race on the calendar after Monaco, so I'll be hoping for a good result there. Hopefully higher than 10th place. I'll take any points, honestly. So, as ever, thanks for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all next time.